Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Eternal Strength Podcast. It's good times. You guys can talk about it too.
Okay.
Hey, I know. Earlier we tried to do this, and it was just like, Wes, you're a trickster.
I do. I operate from the archetype of the trickster. I like to balance energies anytime they're out of alignment. So if people are being too funny, I
bring it down.
Yeah, I'm not funny at all.
It's not cool.
Yeah. And if people are being too
killer.
serious,
Yeah,
I just laugh in their face. No, not to that extent. That didn't sound what it really represents.
I like how we start these off with no format. The only format that I really want, go ahead and scoot that closer. And this is the first podcast in our new podcast room in our facility, and we actually have a guest today. Our first guest on this show.
The very first guest.
The very first guest. Adam Bennett. Am I correct with your name? That'd be embarrassing.
Yeah, if you miss my name, you're like Austin Bennett, and I was just like, oh, that's not my name.
This guy, and we got this guy today. No, it's cool, man. I'm super excited that you're here, man.
Yeah, super excited to be here, honestly.
Appreciate you coming in, man. What do you think of the facility?
Oh, it's great, honestly. I was not expecting it to be this great, honestly.
I had talked it up, and I was like, oh, it's going to be this amazing, incredible youth center, and you're going to flip out, and it's going to be... And that would have been awful if you walked in. And what were you thinking in your mind?
Yeah, in your head. A couple like bean bags.
Yeah,
machine.
I just didn't think it was gonna be this big. Like, there's just a lot of space here. Like,
awesome.
And I didn't think there was gonna be like a backyard like that with a fire pit. That's really cool.
Cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I love the gym too, and the music studio.
And
crazy.
keep going.
Rock and roll.
And I love this.
And the pool table and the entrance and the door.
Tell me more. No, it's cool, dude. Again, appreciate you coming in, and we're super excited to even have this room now, because we were recording in your old like it's your
my old crotchety, raggedy office back in
run
East
down.
Knob.
It was an abandoned building. Years it was abandoned, but no, we moved in here, and now we're gonna start having guests on at least once a week. And Adam's our first one. Welcome again, dude. I already said that.
Yeah.
I'm very welcome.
It's good to be here, though.
Yeah, this is amazing. I'm very, very excited. And initially, what Zach and I were talking about is we were doing the podcast. We were talking about different subjects: psychology, the psyche, emotions, growth, development. And then I thought I would love to offer this platform up to clients to be able to come on and talk about whatever they felt comfortable talking about in their journey of growth. Because Zach and I have talked about a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like what we've both been through, where we're at. But that was my stomach.
Dude, all day it's been like...
we woke up at 5:30. What'd you say?
I got the BGs.
What is that?
Bubble guts.
Oh, I was thinking like, bring it on down to Allenville. No.
What's that?
Justin Timberlake when he makes fun of the Bee Gees on SNL.
Oh, it's good. And they have a show, the Barry Gibb show.
Yeah.
Can I be honest? It's not recording through here anymore.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it stopped.
And I freaked out about it.
But
then I wasn't going to say anything.
But it's like, when is it, like, why? But it's recording on here, so we're just going to keep rolling with it, man. Or do you want to completely start over?
No, let's keep rolling.
You want to keep rolling? Because we got these going.
As long as these are going, and we'll just use the audio on these.
It's like those have shut down, too. It's like complete and
utter let's keep going, man.
Destruction. Yeah,
are these still purposeful?
They're still purposeful. Because I can hit record there. I don't know what I'm doing. I've been winging it the whole time. Adam fucking knows. Dude, I watched this guy struggle for the last 20 minutes. But this is
a part of what we're talking about, man, is like starting with what you have.
Yeah.
Not being afraid, because if you wait, that was where I messed up with music. And my entire wanting to do music is when I was younger, man.
Yeah.
I thought I needed the best of the best equipment. The best of the best before I could even start writing a fucking song, right? Or writing lyrics. I would have been better off, like I told you, man, a $40 thrift store guitar, a pad, and a pen, just working on the craft. So I don't even. Yeah, we're starting with what we have.
It's good too, because we keep it super raw.
Mm-hmm.
And we like sharing our outtakes. That's the funnest part, really. I don't know if you caught. Do you follow us on Instagram?
Yeah.
And you saw them when we posted yesterday?
Probably.
Him creeping up behind me. Anyways, it's funny.
I'll go back and watch
Yeah,
it.
please do.
Make sure to like it.
Like and comment.
Moves us up in the algorithm. But it's true. It's starting where you're at, and you go, and it's the fool is the precursor to the savior, or the fool is the precursor.
Say that again.
The fool is the precursor to the savior.
So you have to be a fool first.
You have to be able to be a fool and allow yourself to be seen as a fool and feel yourself as a fool in order to become a master.
Yes, I see that.
You're not gonna automatically be fucking good at everything right off the rip.
No.
That'd be awesome. And you hear these sports guys especially say, like, you know, hard work beats talent all day.
Yeah.
It's just hard work, man, and you consistently fucking do it. You get to that genius level, and I think that's with anything. You can approach that with anything. You know what I mean? Healing yourself, learning how to use a road master caster pro. I don't even know what it's called. So anyways, yeah. But it's true. You have to be able to see yourself in that light. And a lot of people don't get further than what they probably should or grow in a certain realm because they can't allow themselves to do that. And
because they don't want to fail, or they look at it as failure and they think, because I'm not good at it out of the gate, then I don't need to try it, then I don't need to do it. Rather than saying, wait a minute, the only way for me to get good at something is I'm going to have to look foolish, I'm going to have to make mistakes, I'm going to have to fail. But as long as I'm using every single one of those occurrences as an opportunity to learn and grow and strengthen, then I'm going to be able to rock it.
Rock and roll, dude. It's spot on, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, honestly, I started getting that. Because when I was in high school, I tried to start a clothing brand with my friend, and I was just like, all right, well, I'm gonna need like the best presses, like literally high quality T-shirts and all this stuff. But I was a high school kid, I didn't have the money to get all that. Exactly. But I should have just went for it and tried it, but I didn't, and I sort of regret it. But I mean, I still can do it, you know.
And that's why it's true. Yeah, you can still even talking about it now, but thinking, I think we limit ourselves on what we can do or thinking or being really creative with it. Like, if you couldn't afford to go get all that stuff, what could you have done? Gotten your own clothes, put some patches on it, maybe ordered one print at a time, and just steadily grown from there. And now we got drop shipping, so it's just all right. But yeah, man. Drop shipping is where, Printful, it's where you design something, you upload it, and they, somebody orders it, and they just, it's like print on demand.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but it's good. Think about how many times people don't continue with something because they're man, I need this Joe Perry, Gibson.
Les Paul. Signature edition.
Yeah.
With a wild
or I can't play. Or I won't
Black
play.
translucent fan.
There's a beautiful guitar.
It was a beautiful guitar.
It haunts my dreams.
I pawned it, dude. Did I ever tell you this story?
No. Tell me. I'd really like for you to tell everyone what you pawned it for. Yeah. Let's share,
Here
dude.
we go. Okay, this is real rawness here. So, 17, started smoking weed, love affair, fell in love with it, became a weekend thing, then became daily. And then, I had some friends who I loved and cared about deeply, connected through music, and then I started using large amounts of cocaine, methamphetamine. I told you before, I ran hard for about a year and a half with that, but in the middle of that started to come from a place of desperation, and it really was the addiction picking up and me caring more about using than any other capacity in my life. And I had bought my first guitar was a Gibson Les Paul Studio Cherry Wine Red. I still remember the Gibson case. You popped it open, it had green felt. I remember the way it smelled on Christmas, man. When I first got it, my parents hooked me up, played that for years, and then Aerosmith, who I was fucking was all about Aerosmith. Joe Perry had a signature guitar come out, and I remember it in Guitar World magazine, and I remember looking at it, the black translucent finish.
Beautiful.
Oh,
beautiful guitar.
Signature
in our friendship
series.
We'll talk about that.
But gorgeous, and I lusted after it, man. Lusted. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna trade it in, and my parents were like, we'll match you. So finally, dude, maybe it was 17, 18, traded in the Gibson Studio Wine Red for the Joe Perry's, $1,800. Got it, played it, dude. Every day I polished it.
But that was in mid '90s, 1800. And I mean,
Now,
1800 is still a lot of.
They're floating around out there now. They're probably like 2,600.
I'm just saying, but that, you know, you're a kid.
Oh, yeah.
$1,800.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Back
Yeah,
when
that's
I
a
was
lot.
growing up,
Yeah.
$1,800 was equivalent to $45,000 today.
The dollar's really lost its value.
Wait,
U.S. dollars really went down.
No. So then we went out one night, and my parents, being good parents, setting boundaries, being like, absolutely not. We're not giving you any more money. We're not going to supply your drug habit. You're moving in an unhealthy direction. We'll be here if you move in a healthy direction. You're mature. And I was like, fuck you. I'm fucking done with you. I can't believe you would abandon me like this. Took my guitar, went out, went down to Dallas Highway, Ponier Music, walked in. I said, what will you give me for this guitar? They said, $500. I said, no way. How about $1,300? He said, $500. I said, it's not happening, man. How about I said, how about $1,000? He said $500. I was like, not even gonna do. And then finally I was like, okay, $500, I'll take it. Took the $500, went and bought a bunch of weed, a pound of weed, and a bunch of cocaine. Went to a Chili's restaurant, met these girls, went back to their house, used all of it that night. Woke up the next morning, no guitar, no drugs, no nothing, in a miserable pit. Hated who I was and kept up and running. And there was that guitar, man, that thing that I'd yearned for, that I'd worked for, and I was ready to give it away like that, man, in 2 seconds. And then it was, but here's the redemption story. I have the serial number. I will find that guitar.
Yeah, dude.
I will get it again. I will hang it on the wall at the youth center, and I will tell that story to everyone that walks in, to the point that they say, Wes, stop telling that story. You tell it every time. But I'm not mad. It's a material object, and in no way, shape, or form do I think I need to get that back.
Yeah.
But it represents something. And so to kind of get back and reclaim what I was so willing to give away in that soul lost period of drug use that I was in. Too long of a story?
No, it was good. $500.
I can relate to that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I've sold a bunch of my shoes and a bunch of my clothes, and like I even went down and like tried to like sell this necklace, but they wouldn't take it for some weird reason. But I mean, like, yeah, I would sell shoes to my friends, like literally anything, just to like be able to like go get more Xanax or Percocet or whatever I was taking at the time.
Yeah.
Anything. And I would literally like trade, like, and I love my clothes. Like literally I take my appearance like very seriously. You know, like that's just like how I express myself.
Yeah.
So like
that's your art.
So
your art is your image and your persona.
Yeah. So like I definitely think, you know, it shows a lot like how drugs can like influence someone just by like literally they'll give up anything for them. Like
their
literally
most
anything.
prized possession.
Consume you.
Yeah.
And you'll do whatever.
Now you were a different path than me. Mm-hmm. You started. Did it start with weed?
Yeah, it started with like weed and alcohol.
Yeah. The thing I like to say about weed, because people will be like, weed's a gateway drug, and then other people will be like, no, it's not. And the thing I like to bring up is, I've met many people who smoke marijuana who don't do other drugs or go on to do other hardcore drugs, but I've never met anybody who does hardcore drugs that didn't start with marijuana.
Yeah. Yep, that's very true. No, I definitely.
That's spot on, I think, man. Spot on.
It's because I'm a genius.
They've all used it. It's like, you don't skip the line.
Yeah.
You're not skipping the line.
But
there might be some exceptions, sure, but you're not skipping line going straight to heroin.
No.
There's no heroin user out there that's like, I've never tried weed. Let me try it. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But where you started weed, alcohol, what age, dude?
Probably like 7th grade. So like 11, 12.
Friends kind of introducing it, coming on the scene.
Well, like probably like 11, 12, I like gone in my parents' liquor cabinet.
Okay.
And then like got drunk a couple times. Went to like a high school play. Drank like a whole fifth of vodka there, and I was like really young, so I got really sick, and that was definitely embarrassing.
Throwing up?
Yeah, I was throwing up like on the way out, and like it was like, you know, like it's embarrassing, you know.
Yeah.
Like it really is, like especially when you're that young and you're like at a high school play with your family, and you're like literally like just so intoxicated you're throwing
Were
up.
you in the play?
No, I was not.
You
in the
were
play.
watching.
Yeah, I was watching the play. Like my mom made me go, so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna have some fun with this.
So I did this. I need to fit the vodka easy.
Was that the first time drinking?
Yeah, or well, like that was actually my first time drinking.
Whoa.
Yeah, and but I didn't know like how alcohol would affect me. I didn't know how much I needed to drink in order to get drunk. So I was like, I knew it was supposed to taste bad, so I just kept going. You know?
Yeah.
And then,
Like, let me push past the taste and just see. Curious to the effects of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very curious, and then I wasn't so curious in like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
In like 15 minutes, I was like,
yeah, metabolized quick for an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
I remember I was watching Macklemore, who I still like and I respect, man.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the first time he drank. It was middle school, and maybe he was 12, and he came home and he said solo in the kitchen, solo dolo. Took 12 shots to the head. Took one, said this feels good. Dude. 2 said this feels good. And now he can reflect back on it and go, oh my God, I can see that early on I had that addiction bug, that addictive characteristic, that addictive patterning in my genetic makeup, in who I was, because there's a lot of people who don't do that, but then there's the risk takers, the sensation seekers, the excessive ones of us that go, and there's no, once that switch is turned on, man, you don't stop it. And so I probably know a lot of kids that age that like drank for the first time, but they didn't take a bottle to the head at a play.
Yeah.
And then so alcohol, when was the first time smoking weed, man?
I think I was 14, about to turn 15.
Okay.
It was my freshman year of high school, and it was just before a football game. And me and my friend, like, I knew he smoked, and I was like, yeah, like, I really want to try it. Because you know what it actually was? It was just like me listening to like music, and then like hearing all like these like musicians nowadays like just glorifying it.
Yeah.
And then like also like GTA, I was playing that, and like people were smoking weed in the game, so I was like, oh, like that actually looks sort of fun. Like, I want to try.
In Grand Theft Auto, they smoke weed.
Yeah, you can like
I forgot
you could
that.
get
Do
your
it all, man.
yeah, you could get your like character to like hit a bong or some stuff. So I would like do that, and I'd be like, and it would make the screen like all green and fuzzy and look cool, and I'd be like, oh my God, I wonder if that's what it's like. So that's how like I literally tried weed for the first time.
So that sparked the curiosity was, all right, let me go seek this out and try it. Do you remember, did you get high the first time?
Oh, I got really high.
I didn't.
Yeah,
dude,
I heard a lot of people don't
like,
get really high.
I was like,
after the first one.
I don't remember. I remember being at I'm gonna name drop.
Okay.
Remember Josh Austin?
Yeah.
Remember him?
I remember.
So
I do.
I remember you, man.
I remember, and what I remember, and this was awesome, and this was cool. But somebody was like, "Dude, I'll give you $5 to stick your hand in that red anthill."
He did.
And he did at school on the playground. He just went $5, done, and he just held it, dude, and stared us all down, and we were like,
$5, dude.
And his hand got blown.
That's a good lunch at the Keacher back in the day.
But I think he had to go to the hospital.
You get double fries, burger, and his hands look fucking huge.
Just
But we
was like, yeah, it's so worth it.
I think the first time I smoked, we skipped school. We went to, he was staying in an apartment at the time. His parents' house was being built somewhere. And we rolled it with fucking newspaper, dude.
Oh my god!
And we smoked, dude.
That can't be good. The chemical compounds.
Yeah, that's
well, I didn't know, man, and like I don't know, and that's what it started. But I started later, man, and maybe a couple years. It was like maybe junior, senior year, but it was like once, once or twice, and I was done for a long time. I had no interest in it.
Yeah, I think I
first.
I remember one time I got really high. Maybe it was the first or the second time, but it rocked me a little bit morally, and I had a really close relationship with my mom, and we'd always talk about everything, very open. She studied psychology. I was really close to her, and I'd share everything with her. And I remember I felt really, really guilty about it, and so I think I ended up sharing it with her. And I think I talked to her in my bedroom, and I was like, I just want to tell you I smoked weed, and I don't know if I liked it or not. And I think I ended up crying, and her kind of being like, hey, and she would always preach truth. She would always say, like, I don't think you need any of those things to make you happy.
Yeah.
And would really kind of hold that. And then I remember feeling supported with that, but then going out and having another part of me, another internal aspect of me that was like, I'm ready to try it again. I'm curious to go. there was something about the risk taking and the sensation seeking that was stronger than the anxiety fear piece.
Yeah.
Within me and within my character makeup was like that part that was just like, yeah, the spontaneity piece was really strong in me.
Yeah.
Like
you jacked up on it, man.
Yeah.
It's like doing something you're not supposed to be doing. If
Yes.
you get caught, you'll be in trouble. All these things, you're like, that gets you all jacked up.
Yeah.
And sometimes that, becomes greater than the other part of you.
Yes.
A lot of the times. Most of the time.
Yeah. So, weed, can we jump back? Weed to
Alcohol.
Alcohol, weed.
Alcohol to play.
What came in the mix next? Fish oils? Vitamins?
No, the gummies, the little gummy bears with the vitamin D in it.
I was about to say, edibles? What?
Nah.
That's fun.
Alright, so, after I drank that one time, I was just done with alcohol for a while. Like, that made me super sick. I just honestly started recently drinking to a moderation.
Okay.
But ever since then, I really just haven't even touched alcohol. I still don't really like it. That really just scarred me from it.
Yeah.
But then with weed, I loved it. The first time I ever did it. So I was just I maybe took 3 or 4 days after smoking weed for my first time to just do it again, and then after that, every single day.
Really?
Yeah, it really
Went
picked
quick.
up.
Yeah.
Was
it really picked
it
up.
before you do that YouTube video, you want to get high? We need to get high first.
Yeah.
You want to get high first?
You want to get high?
Was it just a daily, I gotta have it every day, or was it more of a you gotta do it before things, you wake up, burn down, or after school?
Mm-hmm. I would probably say now it's now it's probably like that. Or I've actually toned down smoking recently.
Yeah.
Just because I have a new job and
yeah.
I'm not saying I don't do it at all, but
yeah,
and let me interject and just say this, Adam, you are processing and looking at for the first time in a really intense and mature way your relationship with marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And how you reach to it, and in what ways it still serves you, and in other ways that it doesn't, and reflecting on and looking at what you want your relationship with it to be in the future. Mm-hmm. And I see you doing all that work, man. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting for you to reflect back and kind of go, dude, out the gate, it was your favorite.
Yeah,
you're
out the gate.
Yes, same with me. It was a love affair with Mary Jane, and it was I like that state of consciousness.
Yeah, my friend, even my friend who probably has been smoking with me this whole time, throughout my childhood. He literally is he told me, I don't feel this way anymore. I used to though. My girlfriend was marijuana. Literally through high school, she's always been there for me.
Yep.
I always spent nights with her. You know what I mean? It was she was
for
my
sure.
girlfriend.
Yep.
But
romanticize it, man.
Yeah.
Big time, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we take the analogy of it being your girlfriend, my relationship with her, with Mary Jane, who I haven't had a relationship with in 14 years. I love you. I'll see you again in another life, but you don't serve me in this life. But at one point, dude, she started keying my car.
Yeah.
And throwing my clothes out the windows and getting me arrested and showing up to work and fucking up everything in my life.
Making me go broke.
Yes,
all my money.
Everything, dude. And it was I might need to look at this. This might be an unhealthy relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm currently right now where I'm at with it is just I just can't let it run my life anymore. I just
stoked, dude.
I know, I appreciate that. It was just getting to a point where I would get $100. I'd be oh my god, I'm gonna go pick
and
weed.
And you would first thing it would go towards was weed.
Yeah, it was always weed.
Dude, no matter how broke I was, I'm that's in the budget.
Yep.
That's in the budget. I'm getting that. It's you always see the last $20 they're buying cigarettes and beer.
Yeah.
That's where it goes to. But yeah, whenever I had any type of amount of money, whatever payday rolled around, weed's on that budget.
Yeah.
And it sometimes pushed getting other stuff or paying another bill.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But what made you recognize you're all right, this is running my life a little too much? What got you to that point? Was it was it a build up, or was it just one epiphany? You're fuck. One day,
there's
you know what I mean?
therapist I started doing who's amazing.
No,
I probably had like a 3. I mean, I've tried to quit smoking weed a lot, just because I see how it affects my relationships with other people, and things like that.
Yeah.
I probably had like a good 4 times like I want to stop.
Like a serious.
Like I can't be doing this anymore.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't. And I'm still in the same boat right now. I want to stop, but I'm just not stopping.
Yeah.
But I'm just, basically what would happen in the past is I realized that I was a very all or nothing person. It's either I'm gonna do drugs, I'm gonna smoke weed, I'm gonna take pills, I'm gonna sip whatever is in my cup, whatever. Yeah. And then it went from that to no, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do any drugs. And then it would be literally just a fight of 2 sides I had, and I would just immediately maybe 2 or 3 days after I would be I'm done smoking, I would relapse because the other side just took over.
Yep, 100%.
And I went to get when my meat is smoking every day, and then I told you about how I started taking Xanax. I went to rehab, and then it was sort of the same thing when I got back. When I was taken out of that environment, it was just my other side was just all right, well, you had nothing for so long, so now it's time let's go, let's go.
Make up for lost
yeah
time.
Go And it was funny because I didn't even want to relapse. I wanted to stay clean, but it almost felt like someone took over me, it really did.
Yeah.
Still I have it.
Yeah.
And you describe, man. No, you want to go?
No.
You describe. God, I tweaked my back early. Sorry. You describe the battle, the internal battle, Adam. That was the biggest soul loss for me, because it's what they call cognitive dissonance, that one part of you deeply yearns to move in a different direction, to make different behavioral choices, to put your energy in a different direction, and then there's this other part of you that just still kind of pulls in this direction, and it's constantly battling, man. And you never feel balanced and at peace, and but I still think you're doing a beautiful job of starting to look at it. Do you have any idea how many fucking people feel that but won't address it, and will blame everything else in the world externally? Will blame other people, will blame this, before they really start to look at themselves and go, where am I and what do I want?
And where do I want to go?
Yeah.
Sustain, and candidly talking, this, and even from my, I told you I was listening to my last podcast, Mind Sweat, and it was December 27th. And I didn't feel like I was still smoking weed then, and I was 11 days sober at that point. But I had told you, it's I don't feel like it was really taking my life and destroying aspects of it, because I was still progressing and moving towards my higher self, 100%. But there came a time where I had to step back and say, what else could I take out of my life to make me better? And as much as I wanted to fucking deny it, it was weed and it was alcohol. Because I was still drinking as well. But it wasn't a constant thing. And
you said, not destructive, not
at all.
Severely habitual, not wheels falling off.
No.
But you had a relationship
But it was still in my life.
Yeah,
I still had a relationship with it. It was still in my life. I knew that it served me in no fucking way. No possible way was it serving me. But it was still there, and I had, major substance abuse problems in the past, and one would think I got it under control now, but every once in a while I would sneak up and I'd go out and have a couple, and then it turned into a blackout night, and that was it became less and less and less and less, and then it was but I stepped back, and I was and it was that little voice, that internal, it's just dude, if you took these out of your life completely, you could be so much better than what you're doing now. And so I did that, and I completely fucking stepped away from alcohol and weed, even though it wasn't just it's completely destroying my life. I'm letting it lead my life, and it wasn't. But I still decided to be dude, in order to progress further than where I'm at right now, who else could I be? What more could I be if I took this out of my life? And that's what motivated me. And I think now it's been since December 16th.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
At all. And I don't even like, you know, and I did order some CBD joints the other day, and that's cool, you know.
No THC.
Yeah. No THC, and
that's
I do crave it sometimes, but then again I think it's like, well, maybe that's okay, and then I'm like, no, dude, I don't think I'm gonna step back on that path again, because that path is always gonna be wide fucking open for you to go down. But I'm like, dude, I'm gonna stay over here because I see what other things that are coming into my life now that I have removed those other things. And there's a laundry list of fucking things that I had to remove from my life in order to clear space for more good things to come in. And I constantly preach that. And that was the defining moment for me, is really being fucking honest and being like, what would your life look like if you took those out? Like, what could I do? Yeah. You know what I mean? And complete change, dude. So it's cool. So that's why I asked you, like, was there just the defining moment? You say you kind of, like, you want to, but you haven't. You just got to be like, what would be those reasons? Like, what would your life look like without it? You know what I mean? And like, there's another, I think there's a huge difference. I think we talked about this yesterday, by like quitting smoking, like even just cigarettes. It's like,
do you smoke cigarettes?
Oh yeah.
It's because it's like, I can't smoke because I want to quit. And just like not seeing yourself as a person who can't do it, but seeing yourself as a person who just doesn't do it. I don't do that. And really seeing that and bringing that person to the forefront. So that's
I go weird with it. I feel like that SNL skit. I go weird with it where I don't smoke cigarettes, but I see myself as a cigarette smoker.
What?
Yeah, he has these weird, like,
it's like a badass attitude thing, and I have a fake Eddie's Trick Shop cigarette that I get out from time to time, but I never smoke cigarettes.
What is it? What is that? Like a
It's like, just like a little fake
cigarette.
Yeah, it looks like a cigarette,
Eddie's
but
Trick
it's not.
Shop was like a little magic.
Yeah.
In the square.
Sorry, I took this off.
What's an Eddie's Trick Shop? I know, it's old school. Are they still open?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little cigarette, and it flickers on the end.
But it brings you to, it's back to what you said, Adam. Where did that come from in my growth and development that made me think that it looked cool?
Yeah.
It looked fucking cool. All my idols, all the musicians, all the rockers, all the artists, the Grand Theft Auto, they were doing it. They were talking about it. It was a lifestyle. So even if I did conditioning, indoctrination, and programming.
Yeah, dude.
What are we telling the youth?
You said it, dude. Right off the rip. Yeah. You said, I heard it in all the songs, and I saw it in the video games, and it was all around, and it was just it's just what is. It's just what is.
It's become a culture right now of.
Exactly.
That's what is hard, and that's what's gangster, and that's what's badass. And then, like we've talked about before, you speak to the other guys who have been through that. Like, we start getting to like Wes Watson and David Goggins and Jocko Willink, and they go, that's not hard.
That's not hard.
Do you want to know what's hard? Doing whatever's hardest for you. Oh, it's hard for you to quit smoking cigarettes? Do that. Oh, it's hard for you to not smoke weed? Do that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard for you to wake up early? Do that. You want to get fucking harder? Do what's harder. You don't get harder by doing what the fuck is softer. You have You have to level up and grow and mature.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to do that, man. Everybody wants to be able to do what's easy and get reward from that. But the biggest reward you will ever get is when you look at yourself, you go deep into your heart and soul, and you say, what is hardest for me on my path right now? Where do my weaknesses lie? How can I laser focus in on them and work on that?
That's a culture too. It's like work less and have more money, and you know what I mean? That's a culture, the online, and I fell into that. The whole online coaching thing was just like, something about it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
It's like, you do this, you get this system in place, and you work completely less, you can have all this freedom. What do you do with that freedom? What do you do with that?
Passive income. Lay on the beach, drink a martini, make $100 million a year.
And work 3 hours a week. It's a book, and we talked about that. Tim Ferriss, 4-Hour Work Week. And look, I haven't stepped into that, but... And I wanted to believe that's true.
I haven't had time. I've been working longer than 4 hours a week.
Yeah, I just
haven't had time to read.
And you know what? The thing is, man, about it, what brought me to this fucking point in my life, to be here, to be VP and COO, and be a therapeutic mentor, and have my certifications, and you know, doing all
this. It wasn't 4 fucking hours.
It wasn't 4 fucking hours a week, dude.
But he's saying, smarter, be more strategic.
Yeah, that's
be more
fine. But
efficient.
then, what are you gonna do with that spare
Yes.
time? And a lot of people are finding that the fuck out right now is what they have or didn't have in their life by taking their jobs completely out of their lives and being like, I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
Well, this is a prime fucking opportunity for people to be like, what else could I be doing with my time? Because apparently I have a shitload of time because all I have in my life is my work and my job. I go to my job and I come home and it's like I don't have, it's when I hear people say they don't have the time, dude, it makes me sick to my stomach. No, you don't have your priorities in line or it's a choice and consequence, man. You're making choices and this is the consequence of it. So yeah, if you watch Netflix for 6 hours a fucking day, you might not have time at the end of the day to do the stuff that you want to do.
But there's a deeper component. When you bring that up, what I immediately think about is exhaustion. And this idea that you can feel, there's been days in my life where I work for 12 hours nonstop and I still have energy. And then there's been other times where I can't even work for an hour. And I'm mentally and emotionally and psychologically exhausted. And I think a lot of that, when I examine myself, comes from when I'm in those spaces of not living what I know I need to be living. Mm-hmm. So that battle, that internal battle again, man, is like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of variables that come into play with it, but I'm with you. But it's how do you, from a mind, body, soul standpoint, challenge yourself and break the monotony of even that narrative that I don't have enough time and just being exhausted, man. Because there's so many people that want to change stuff, but then to look at all the effort and the energy that it would take is exhausting.
And that's another thing. We're looking at the whole macro. We're looking at the whole staircase. We're looking at the overall goal. You're not looking at those small steps of what you could be doing incrementally to build that. And people are like, oh, nothing's changing because you're not fucking doing anything different. Yeah. You're not even moving forward in that direction. And if you never tap into that side of yourself or even try to go down that road of self-discovery, how the fuck are you going to know what your groove is? Dude. It doesn't have to be a morning routine. It can
How did Stella even get her groove back?
How did she do it?
No, can I segue?
Segue, dude.
As he was talking, that's one of the arenas that I am absolutely the most proud of you for, dude, is you may be in a place right now where you're still working out your relationship with marijuana, where you're how old again, dude?
19.
I ask you every time. I'm sorry.
You're good.
19, and you are in a much, much healthier space emotionally, psychologically, and holistically than I was at 19, and you're really starting to look at yourself honestly. Mm-hmm. I know for a fact if you didn't do any of what Zach and I just rambled about with behavioral changes, with reflection on yourself, I don't think you'd be here right now.
Yeah.
I don't even think you'd be alive.
Right, the ability to come here and openly talk about it.
Well, and dude, your past with pills.
Yeah.
And how intense it got, and going to rehab is like, I think you had to really stop and look at yourself. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you go again?
I went to Paradigm Malibu.
Okay.
It's literally right outside of LA in Malibu. Okay. And it's really nice.
Okay.
I loved it. If your parents have the money to send you there and you think you need rehab, I would suggest you go there.
Malibu?
Yeah, it's nice. My parents definitely did me a good favor.
And you went at what age?
17.
Will you tell a little bit of the story of kind of like where you were, what was going on, what led up to it, going out there?
I mean, like, I was a senior in high school. It was my first semester, and I was just, like, selling drugs. I was selling pot. I was selling, like, anything I could get my hands on to make a profit. And really, it came down to I was just doing it so I can, get more substances. Like, because I didn't have the money to do it, like, on my own. I didn't have a job or anything like that, so I needed money to get it.
You did get high on your own supply.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I never followed 100%. That rule. I was like, what are they talking about?
But,
oh, God, I got to pay that money back. Yeah, right?
But, yeah, I feel like there was, like, 2 reasons I really, like, took pills like that. One of the reasons was, like, okay, actually, I'm going to say the other reason first because it was the reason I started in the first place. Was like what I said earlier. I just heard it on, like, music and, like, saw, like, my favorite musicians literally posting videos of them popping Xanax
Yeah.
or like Percocet, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, is that cool to do? Like, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like sort of cringe like when I was a senior in high school. Like, I was definitely like not the person I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And
you idolized these.
Yeah,
figures.
I idolized.
Who was some of the like? Who are we talking back then?
I still love Lil Peep, but Lil Peep was definitely one of them.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I mean, you have like Lil Baby, like all those Atlanta artists.
Yeah, but everybody in the hip hop community and scene, what was going on for us growing up in the '90s was more Molly.
Yeah.
They were talking about Molly and ecstasy and coke and slinging coke and some of that, but you really saw in that later 2000s they started to talk a lot about pills.
Yeah.
Xanax, perks, yeah.
And I that's exactly why I did it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I just heard it and I just thought, oh well, I just thought in my weird head that I just thought I was better by doing it in a way. I thought I was literally cool by popping Xanax and and then what it became was I was literally like so depressed that I literally couldn't live without it. I just couldn't live. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm saying literally a lot. I
didn't even notice it. Literally.
You don't notice it until someone points it out.
And we watch it back and be like, dude, that guy said literally a lot.
And would you say that it was it more the withdrawal from the pills? So when you first started taking pills, because dude, it makes sense, man. It's a rhythm, it's a pattern, it's a habituation, it's an indoctrination. Taking pills will make you cool. Taking pills will make you cool. Taking pills will. You're running it, you're hearing it, and you're watching it, and then before it's brainwashing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and then what you fixate. I think what a lot of youth fixate is that, but they neglect to look at all the work they have done to get to that point where okay, I'm not saying it's okay to do all that work and then get to the point where you can take all those pills, but it's like, man, they're fucking also hustling their ass off and working
they're grinding
non-stop and they're partying, and that's the only part that you're seeing. You're not seeing the behind the scenes. There's like, what did he have to do to get on that label, or how many years did he hustle to get his demo out there to get there, you know? So it's,
but
I get it.
And then like that also got me into the cough syrup, like the lean. And that was really like, that was a problem.
And we're talking promethazine and codeine.
Yeah, mixed with codeine.
Okay. And that was what is it?
Following my 20. 4 into 20.
What is that?
20 my fellow. 4 ounces in my 20 ounce.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now that makes sense.
Come on, guys.
I mean,
and the double styrofoam cup.
Yeah, that.
2 cup.
Lil Wayne and everybody talking about sipping lean. And man, it's in the opiate family, and it was horribly addictive, and it had extreme amounts of tolerance and withdrawal. But again, it was part of the culture.
It was. It like I just wanted to, like, I don't know, like
you want to be like them, man.
Well, not only that, but it was just like, all right, well, I actually had some good money for a high schooler at least, and I had some good money. I was just like, all right, well, instead of buying like shoes or something like that, I was just being like a stupid kid, and I was like literally pulling up to meet the teacher with like a pint of lean in my backpack, and literally pouring lean like outside the school, like just honestly, I was just trying to get attention, which it comes down to, that's sort of pathetic, but that's exactly what I was doing. I was just trying to get attention.
Everybody, like that image and that persona piece, which dude, you and I are a lot similar in terms of art being an expression and how we look and how we dress, but man, then when you throw substances in the mix, it's like you start to embody that kind of narrative, and you're like, now I'm twisted, and now I'm in this consciousness space, and people, and dude, and a lot of times it cuts to your internal perception of what you think you look like and how cool you think you look, and then it cuts to fucking somebody nodding out. Have you ever fucking hung out with somebody on Xanax, dude? Fucking nod out, drool all over themselves, and fucking not remember anything. Dude.
Like in Beer Fest?
I forget.
When he's like going through and he's like Mr. Suave, and then it cuts to him and he's like super wasted. Dude, if you guys are watching this, go Google that part.
In his mind,
he's looking up like, hey, what's up? And it shows the real him, and it's just like he's super sloppy, and he's just like, it's a really good scene, and it's true, man. Because you see yourself, man, and then you create this entire reality around that, and it might not be the real deal, you know. It's just whatever you have created in your head about yourself, and how you look, That's crazy, man. It's so true too. God.
So codeine, promethazine, then pills.
I was taking like Xanax like when I was doing that, but I wasn't really on to like Percocet yet.
Okay.
I didn't start taking Percocet until like I actually got like addicted to lean, and I like needed it because it was an opiate and it was a strong like I mean they're both like pretty potent, but like definitely like the Percocet pills for me would just hit like really like hard, especially because I was just addicted to that opiate. So yeah, that's when I started taking Percocet. But I was
to avoid the withdrawals.
Yeah, to avoid withdrawals. Yes.
Yeah.
And then, but like with Xanax, I've been just on and off that for years. Like I started taking Xanax before I started sipping lean. I was always off Xanax because that was I was about to get to that point was like that was actually one of those drugs that I didn't think I was cool by taking. Like I sort of did at the beginning, but then it really just got to a point where I just loved it. I loved just like literally not feeling anything. I loved just being blackout. I loved just like not having to deal with my problems even in the slightest.
Yeah.
Numb.
Just numb. You're not even there. I literally explained to my friends, I'm like, I literally take Xanax when I want to die, and it makes you die for like a day, but like I want to wake up. I don't want to be dead permanently, but like just for right now, I just want to be asleep and
Yep. Dude. And so you go and you have this relationship and it's building up and obviously you mentioned there's some suicidality in there where you're getting super bouts of depression and you're starting to question, do I even want to be alive? But you really don't want to die completely, but it's like definitely like not wanting to deal with life. And then what is the catalyst for you going off to rehab? Like what led up to you going to Malibu?
There was just this like really bad Xanax binge I had with my best friend at the time, and we got a ton of Xanax and they weren't real Xanax, and we think it was like with fentanyl in it.
Okay.
Because they made us like crazy. Like he was like punching holes in his wall. I was just being an absolute dick, running out of my house with like absolutely no clothes on, just like out of it.
At your parents' house.
Yeah, and I was still sipping lean at the time, and I was doing that with him. And then we also had Percocets. Like we had everything. Like we were on a crazy binge, and I just like remembered like literally being out of it for like 7 days, 5-7 days, and just like waking up and my mom was like, yeah, I had to take you to the hospital, like blah blah blah, this happened, like you tried to jump out the car window, like all this crazy shit. And I was like, I don't even like that, doesn't even sound like me. I didn't even like remember that. Like I just was like, completely just out of it for like a whole week. I missed like 5 days of school, like it was crazy. And then that, I was just like, after that, me and my parents came to the conclusion that I needed to go to
and you
rehab.
were on board. You were, well, as much as you weren't like, hell no, I'm not going, I don't have a problem. You were like, okay, if you guys are at the end of your rope and you're going to make me go somewhere, okay, fine, I'll go do it. It's probably not going to help shit, but I'll fucking go do it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely, when I got there, I was like, I don't need this. Like, I'm fine with my decisions. But then, like, at the end of it, I was just like, I don't,
Okay.
I'm thankful for that experience because I relapsed after. I'm not gonna lie. I relapsed after. It didn't get me off drugs.
Right.
But it definitely got me to a point where I was just like, all right, I like addressed my relationship with it, and I completely understood my relationship with it, and I realized like this is like to a point where it's almost like not my choice, and this is gonna be with me now forever. But like, it was definitely hard. Like and then that was sort of getting to the point where like whenever I would start feeling bad whenever I take drugs, because I'd be like, damn, like I'm better than this. Because like at that point, before I went to rehab, I just like sort of had in my head that it was justified. It was justified that I was doing this. Like I was a kid or whatever excuse I wanted to bring up. But then when I went to Paradigm, I was like, no, there's no excuse. You just like want to get high.
Yeah, you had to finally look at it face to face.
Exactly.
And man, I've talked to Zach about this, Adam. I say like states of consciousness. I compare them to ecological terrains, and so I call like marijuana the desert, alcohol the city, sober consciousness, no substances at all, the rainforest, psychedelics, the ocean, and then I put a lot of other drugs in a place called quicksand, which is like, good luck, dude. You want to go visit the quicksand?
Yeah.
But the idea is what paradigm and rehab gave you was a chunk of time in the rainforest,
Mm-hmm.
a chunk of time in sober consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
No, maybe you didn't, you relapsed afterwards, but you still got that time in sober consciousness in the rainforest with no substance use to look at yourself, to start to take some accountability and have that opportunity. And how long were you there, man?
I was there for like 45 days.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, that's exactly right. Before I went there, I genuinely thought that I couldn't have fun or I couldn't be happy without drugs.
Right.
I was at that point in my life because it was like the first time I was like truly like full on drug addict. And I guess I got what I asked for because that's what I just thought was cool.
Yeah.
And I literally looked at these like my idols as drug addicts and I was like, okay. So I guess I got what I asked for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I at that point in my life it became like fake problems that I like sort of wanted to literally being real problems.
Dude, holy shit. That what you just articulated is like there's something deep about that, man. And I'll get super emotional if I think about it too much. But my buddy John talks to me about it a lot, and he says people born into hell create their heaven, and people born into heaven create their hell. And there's something going on for our young people, especially who come from decent backgrounds, who have a certain amount of support and affluency, who haven't had to struggle and go through hell, where they go, man, I kind of want some of that.
Yeah,
I want some fucking adversity.
Yeah,
I want a story. I don't just want my story to be, I'm this dude who had super great parents and Brady Bunch and everything was cool. I kind of want a rap sheet like these dudes that I look to who have been through, they got something. But it's like you said, I thought I knew what it was. And then I went to it and I actually it
showed up.
Like, hey man, it's no good.
I don't want this anymore, man.
Yeah.
That's heavy, man. That's legit, man. And it's all, dude, it all goes back to honesty, man. If you can't be honest about where you're at, you know what I mean, with anything, or the relationship to anything, man, it's not gonna work. And that's some brutal fucking honesty you got, dude. That's cool.
Appreciate it,
dude. That's
really
cool, man. That's cool, man. No, it's legit, man. It's cool to hear a story like that, man. And it's not gonna be like, oh, it's like a one and done, man. Like, and then the fact that you did relapse, like, I think you being okay with that and recognizing, like, it's not just gonna be like, this is gonna fix me. It's gonna be a consistent thing. I think life mastery or self mastery is lifelong, man. Like, you're always gonna be faced with challenges and put in certain situations, and like given these opportunities to grow and overcome and do that. So I mean, that's just gonna be, I think, always, man. In any type of situation, you know. So
let's do this, man. We're where are we on time?
You know what, Wes? No, it's good, yeah.
But let's where I want to loop it to, man, so we can put a bow on it.
Okay.
Make it pretty. What
is see?
Do you need to get that?
Yeah, he's got a heavy schedule. But like, dude,
every podcast he's like, hold on. I'm like, yeah.
So man, where it sits now, so you come back from rehab, you and I have done a tremendous amount of growth work.
Yes.
You are in a position in your life right now where you are finally starting to reflect on and look at where you want to go and what you want your life to be. You're deeply devoted to your craft, to doing hair, to becoming a barber. What are the certifications again? I don't want to call you a barber.
I mean,
stylist.
I'm doing cosmetology school right now,
yes.
But then I'm gonna also go do my master barber after.
Master barber. So you're gonna be a certified cosmetologist with a master barber.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. And you are going to open up one of the most gangster, badass, unique, creative fucking barbershops where you can go.
I hope.
Dude,
I really
come on,
do.
look at
Yeah,
your hair,
of course.
man.
Okay.
In-house haircuts here, dude.
Yes.
Fade up my beard.
Well, a lot of people need it.
Are you gonna do beards or just straight hair?
Oh, I'm gonna do beards, yeah.
Okay. Nobody's touching mine. I'm a pirate, dude. It's gonna be rogues.
They need to touch
yours. But so, dude, where it sits now is like, and this is why I wanted to have you on here, Adam, because this isn't gonna be about interviewing clients. This is gonna be about having people on here to talk about what they've learned, how they've grown, and how they can see the different stages that they walk through and look at their faults and their weaknesses and speak to it, to share with others. Here's what helped me. And so what I hear you saying, brother, is like what helped you the most is when you started to change your cognitive narrative about yourself. You released everything you described is, I can see why I reached to it. I can see what influenced me to want to emulate that in my life. And then I can also see how dark and destructive that became and how it wasn't serving me and how I needed to create a new narrative about myself. And dude, that to me is the most badass gangster thing in the entire world. I sit in front of you, you got the cool fucking gear, you got the awesome looking tats, you got the Tyler the Creator golf earring, you got the fucking style, and you can speak to health is the new wealth. I'm about growth. I'm about perseverance. I speak truth, and I'm about working on myself. I'm not down with the bullshit of self-destruction and hurting and harming myself or others. And that to me is just like...
Yeah, dude.
Yes!
Finding an aim, and you found an aim.
Yes.
I'm going after this, and this is what I'm pouring my fucking energy into.
Yep.
And that's all I always, it's gangster. That's fucking gangster. Finding an aim. Then going after that, dude. And then being like, what's next for me? Now I got this, what's next? And then what's next, and what's next, and then pouring that energy into that, man. It's dope. Fucking awesome, man.
Dude, thanks.
Yeah, dude.
Is this cool?
Yeah.
Did we get to everything?
Yeah,
I know it
fun.
took a while for me to set up, but it was fun, man.
It was awesome being on.
Dude.
Thank you
Good
guys.
times, man.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're gonna appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully this was helpful in some ways to you guys, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And
we'll always have links below.
Yeah, always
Put
links.
some stuff,
And do you have you're grammed out? You have an IG?
Oh yeah.
Any other social media?
It's
You want to
like-
give shout outs? You want to?
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is like ADAB_45_45.
Okay, we're gonna put that in the link.
ADAB_45.
Good luck trying
Get
to
the contra
remember that
cheat
one.
code.
We'll put it in a link. Now let me ask something
Yeah.
serious before we sign off. Would it be okay for anybody out there who sees this, who might be struggling or go as you tell your story and they go, oh shit, man, it's like looking in a mirror, I see so much of what I'm going through. Would you be okay for them to reach to you to just kind of say like, hey man,
cool,
just to talk, just to get some guidance, you'd be cool with
Yeah,
that?
yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
For sure.
And nobody better reach to me. I'm too busy and I have no time to talk. I'm just joking.
That's why you got me here. Shout it up, Zach, and I'll relay the information. But no, it was cool. I appreciate you coming on, Wes, as always. Adam, thank you again.
All three.
All three. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next show. Later.